Okay, so I'll start. So yesterday I have explained about the database and database management system, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the database and DBMS?
DBMS.
Yeah, so if you want to get the data from the database, then what happen? First authentication has to be done, right? It will check the username, password, and everything, right? And then you can log into the database. After that, it will check the table permission. Once it is done, then DBMS will give you the data from the database, right? First time.
Yes, sir.
Next time onwards, you can get the data directly from the memory, right?
Yes, sir.
No need to go to the database again.
Yes, sir.
So today I'm going to explain you how do we get the data from the database in Oracle. Okay.
Sir, can we get the notes for this?
Yeah, notes I'll provide you.
Database from Oracle, sir.
Yes. So see, there are two parts of the database. Database is having two parts. That is a logical part and physical part. So in the logical part, we have the tables. Table is the logical. Our data is stored logically in the table. But
Yes,
these tables are stored where? These tables are stored in the file. So physical part is the files and operating system. So
yes,
in the
sir.
database, there are many files. Like we have the control file, data file, redo log files. So our data is stored physically in the file. Table is the logical. File is the physical. Got it? So data is stored logically in the table, physically in the file. Like let's say you have the Excel sheet. Where it is stored? You can create the table in Excel sheet, right? So you are creating logically, physically stored in the disk, right? Physically it is stored in a disk. Physically the disk and file. Okay, so I will explain you how we get the data from the database in Oracle.
Oracle.
Yes. So this is the Oracle architecture. Okay, I'll explain you each and every point one by one. Okay, so don't worry. This part is the DBMS. I explain you the DBMS, right? DBMS
Yes,
is
sir.
the memory area. So this is the under the boundary. It's the DBMS. DBMS. But in Oracle, we are not saying DBMS. We are saying instance. What is name? Instance.
Instance.
So instance is nothing but memory area, right? It's a memory only, RAM plus background processes. Instance is the collection of memory area and background processes. So this is a memory component. We have many memory area. Shared pool, library cache, dictionary cache, redo log buffer, Java pool, large pool. So inside there are many components. And these are the background processes. So background processes are for the maintenance purpose. See, if you want to change anything, what you will do? First, the data is changed in our memory, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's say you want to change something, like employee salary you want to change. You are working in the HR department, you want to change employee salary. So
Have
the
to go
data is there in the
to.
memory. First, you will change in the memory, right?
Yes, sir.
Then To make it permanent, you will update the same information in the register, right?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you will forget. So the data is there in the memory, but changes are done in the physical file. By which part? Which part of your body will make the changes in the physical file? The data is there in your memory, right? So that is done
Yes, sir.
by our hands, right? We write
Yes,
with
sir.
our hand, right? So like a background processes. Hand is our background process. That is for the maintenance purpose, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the all the are the background processes for the maintenance purpose. In the instance, we have the memory and background processes. So if we make any changes, this any one of these background process will write the data in the physical file. Okay. And outside of the boundary, the files, you can see the files. Everywhere is written files, right? Data
Yes,
files,
sir.
video log files, non-database files, right? File is a physical. This is a file. All these are the files. Means this is a database. This area is the what? Database.
Database.
Outside database, right? So our data is stored physically in the file. Any file. You can see these are the file name. So we are not storing the data in only one file. Why? If you store the data in one file, then it might be difficult to get the data. Like in your system, we create many folders, right? This folder for picture, this is for document, right? We have this is for software. If you keep all file in one folder, it's very difficult to get it, right?
Yes, sir.
And if that folder
Okay.
get deleted by mistake, everything is lost, right?
Yes, sir.
So we are storing the data in different folders, means different file. So these are the file. These are the file. So you can say file number one. Here it's called data file. So data file number one, like this we have. Data file number one, file number two,
File number 2.
like this. Yes. This is file
File
number
number 3.
file
File
four.
number
You can
4.
search that. As per the requirement, you can create many files. Okay. Let's see our data is stored in any one of the files, any one file. Okay. So let's see our data is stored in this file. Employee name is A, working in the department number 10. Same example I will give you here. I'll give you the same example in here. Okay. Now user is requesting the data. Okay. User is requesting the data.
Data. Sir, who is the user here?
User anyone, right? Database user. This is a user, right? You can see. I told you yesterday,
User.
right? User can be anyone. Like in the bank,
Yes,
you are the user, right?
yes, sir.
If you join any company, you are the employee. Means you are also the user, right?
Yes, sir.
Database user, company database user, right? User is the user,
Yes,
right?
sir. Sir, what is SMON and
That I
what
did
is
not explain, right?
CKCP?
I told you
Yes,
these
sir.
are the background processes, right?
Yes, sir.
So I will tell you one by one. Okay. Whenever it is required, then at that time I will explain you. Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, you cannot understand anything.
Yes, sir.
So these are the background process. These are the hands, Oracle hands. We are having two hands, right?
Yes, sir.
Oracle is having many hands. These are the all hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not only 6, there are more than this. But these are the
Okay, sir.
main. These are the main hands. Okay. So name is different. This is left hand, right hand, middle hand. Okay. There are different
Yes, sir.
many hands, right? We have left and right, but here there are many, right? So I'll tell you what is the use of each hands. Okay, what they use. There are different uses of these processes. Okay. So our data is stored physically in the file. Now user is requesting the data, right? So user will give the username. User has to fire the statement. He has to write the command, right? Which command?
Yes, sir.
Select name from EMP where department number equal to 10, right? User has to fire the command like this. Okay. So how the user will get the data? How? So user has to log in, and then what happens first? Tell me. If user is trying to log in, what happens first?
It asks password.
It will check. It will ask the
It
password.
will check.
You have given the password, username, password you have given.
Yes,
In
sir.
internally, what happens?
Authentication.
Yes, user authentication is done, right?
Yes, sir.
Here in the data buffer case. Sorry, in the memory, right?
Yes, sir.
But in the memory, there are different components. They are memory component, the different memory, right? There are many memory components. So in which
Yes, sir.
area authentication is done? In which component user authentication is done? There are many components.
There are many.
You can see here there are many memory components, right? So, but in which area, ma'am, user authentication is done? In which component? So, if you're trying to log in, then user authentication is done in this memory. Which memory? Data dictionary cache. What is
Data
name?
dictionary.
Data dictionary cache. So, this area in this memory, username, password is stored. Username, password, and permissions. It is stored in this memory area. Got it? See, if I
Username
ask
and
you
password.
something, then first you will authenticate, right? So
Yes,
in
sir.
our memory also, there is one place where for authentication, right? In that area, you can authenticate. We cannot see. Physically we cannot see, but logically it might be there anywhere in our memory for authentication, right?
Yes.
So in this memory area, it will check the username, password.
Yes, sir.
So user authentication is done here. User authentication and table permission also done here. So what information is there in the data dictionary cache?
User
Username, password,
authentication
permissions,
and
right?
table forms.
Table permissions. That is
Table.
stored in the data dictionary cache. So if any user trying to log in, it will authenticate here and it will check the table permission, right?
Yes, sir.
Once done, once it is done, then once the table permission is done, everything passed.
We can enter into the
It will go to
file
the
and
what file?
file.
After
Uh,
authentication, first
we
it will check
can.
the memory, right?
Yes, sir.
Whether the data is there in the memory, it will check. Let's say if I ask you something, even though if you don't know, you will try to memorize, right?
Yes, sir.
You will not open the diary directly. You will try to
Yes.
memorize. If you are not able to remember,
Sir, I have small doubts now.
then you can open the notepad diary, right? So first you will try to memorize. Just tell me.
Sir, actually, if the entire in database, whatever the data is stored, that the entire data is stored in memory also, sir.
Yesterday I told, right?
No need.
Compared to the database size, memory size is less, right? Very less.
Yes, sir.
So how the data is stored in the data, all data in the memory, how it can be stored? So I given you many
Okay.
examples yesterday. I given you many examples, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's say you have a study in 7th class, right? That time you know that 7th class syllabus. Now we came to 8th class, 9th,
Yes, sir.
10th. Okay, graduation. So do we remember everything? Do you remember all
No,
class
sir.
syllabus? No, right? You have gone through all
No,
this
no,
syllabus,
no, sir.
right? First standard
Yes,
to
sir.
graduation, you have read all the books. But do you know all these
Yes,
books?
sir.
No, right?
No.
So our memory is also not there. Every data is there. What data is there? Recently you data, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is there. Okay. Got it. Is it clear? Still any doubt? Tell me. You can compare.
No, sir. No.
You can
Okay.
compare the database memory and your memory. Then you'll get to know. Okay. You can just compare.
Yes, sir.
So and your you can also compare your mobile memory. In your mobile, you have might be 64 GB RAM, right? Sorry, storage. But 4
Yes,
GB
sir.
or 8 GB RAM, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
In your laptop also 1 TB hard disk, 8 GB RAM memory, right? Yesterday I given you many examples.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Everything cannot be stored. Whatever is required now, only those data is stored in the memory, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. If you have a lot of money, then you can put more RAM, but they no use. They no use. Okay. If you're not, if see,
Okay.
I have the data, and I don't want to get the data for 6 months, 1 year. Why? Unnecessarily to load the data in the memory. No, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
We have studied in some formula, right? We don't need always. Sometimes if we need, we'll go to the that book, textbook, right? I can Google it, right? So here not stored, right? So now what happens? What information is there in the data dictionary cache? Tell me. Data dictionary cache contains.
Only the authentication data and whatever the login information.
Yes. So in this memory, user authentication and table permission is there, right?
Yes, sir.
It will store username and password.
Yes. So this in here only user information is there and table permission. There is no data. In
Yes,
data
sir.
dictionary cache, there is no data, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
User credentials, only user credentials are stored. Actual data will be there in which memory? Actual data will be there in the data buffer cache. Okay. So this is
Okay.
the memory area where data is there. Can you see the blocks? You can see many
Yes,
blocks,
sir.
right? So data
Yes,
will be
sir.
there in these blocks, actual data. Got it? So after authentication, it will check the memory area, whether we have data buffer cache. But
Yes,
when
sir.
you start the database, there is no data, right? So if you
Yes,
know
sir.
data in the memory, then what happens? Tell me. No data in the data buffer cache because just now I started the database. It's like a newborn baby. No data in the memory, nothing. Now tell me what happens. If there is no data in the memory,
It will be new.
it will.
New.
Yes. So how the user will get the
Might
data?
be
By
he has to connect with
adding.
other server.
Why the server? If the data is not there in the data buffer cache, then how user can get the data first time?
First need to be add the data, no, sir?
Data has to be loaded in the memory, right?
Yes.
Now tell me how the data will be loaded. From where? Tell me from where to where? You can see the data here, right? Where is the data? Tell me actually where is the data? Where is the data? Yesterday's example I given, right? So where is the data? Can you see here? Tell me.
Data files.
These are file, right? Physically. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Data is there in the physical file, like in this is like a diary register, right? This
Yes,
is
sir.
this is database. Now what happens? Now tell me how this user will get the data. No data in the data buffer cache. Data buffer cache is the memory, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me how user will get the data first time. Now can you tell me?
From the
Yesterday,
database.
yes.
No, sir.
Yesterday example. Yesterday I explained, right? How do we get the data first time and next time, right? It's very simple. How user will get the data? There is no data in the memory, right? If I ask you something, if you don't remember, what will you do? Tell me.
We will
We'll go
log
for the
in
notebook
and
and check it and
Notebook or diary? Where is the diary here? Where
yes,
is the
sir.
diary? File is the diary,
It's the
right?
files, data files.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It is very simple, right? If there is
upgrade.
no data in the memory, it will go to the database, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is very simple.
Okay, okay.
Data is not in the memory, so it will be loaded from the diary or notebook. This is like a file. File is a physical database, right? This is a database part.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So data will be loaded from the physical file to memory, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
Here. And then user will get the data, right? So first time user will get the data like this, right? Okay, now user will get
First
the data
time.
from the data buffer cache, right? User cannot go to the data file directly. No, no, no. User has to get the data from the data buffer cache only. If the data is not there in the data buffer cache, it has to be loaded, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next example you need to give, then I can understand
My
your
question.
concept. This is user number 2. User now yesterday example same I'm giving you today also in Oracle. Now tell me user number 2 is requesting the same data. Now Vishnu tell me the procedure from the beginning. What happened?
he has to go to for the data dictionary cache first
Yes.
to verification.
Yeah.
Then he go for the data buffer cache.
Yes. Next
Then he received it from there only, his data.
from here only,
Back
right?
to, yes, sir.
No need to go to the database again, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Got it. Next time user
Yes,
will
sir.
get the data from the data buffer cache only. Here only.
Yeah.
No need to go to the database again and again. So this
Yes,
is the
sir.
example I have given you yesterday, same example, right?
Same
Yes, sir.
example, yes.
Yes. So this is how we get the data from the database in Oracle. So you go through the video 2-3 times, okay? Initially, you go through the video 2-3 times, okay? Did
Okay,
Oracle
sir.
architecture. It will take, it might take time, no problem, okay? After that, it will be easy, okay? After architecture, practical will be easy. This is not difficult. This is also very easy to understand. If you compare your memory and database memory, then your doubt will be clear. So this is how do we get the
Sir,
data from the database in Oracle, right?
I have a doubt.
Yes. Yes, tell me.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Tell me. Hello.
Hello, sir. I have a doubt.
Yes, tell me. I'm asking.
Sir,
Hmm.
first time the user first is not having data and
Hmm.
it is taking from database.
Right.
You said it data buffer cache is new.
Right.
So it is a backup or recovery.
What comes here? Backup and recovery, right? What is the backup?
Data buffer cache is recovering the file from database, or it is backup?
Why backup? It's loading, right?
It is loading.
I'd given you the example, right? The newborn baby. So newborn baby, there is no data, right? In the newborn baby.
It
So
is
in the newborn baby, you are
uh,
teaching how to say mama, papa, right?
it is recovering from the
That is not recovery,
database.
right? Newborn baby is learning new things, right? From you, right?
It's new. It's updating new.
Yeah, new things learning from you. There is no recovery, right? Recovery means data is there and forgot. Then that is a
Yes,
recovery,
sir.
right?
Okay,
Recovery means
okay.
what? You had the data, you forgot. That is a recovery, right?
Yes, sir.
But when you start the database, this is like a newborn baby. Every time you start the database, memory area is removed. No data in the memory.
It is
But
new data that is being loading.
yes, everything is gone from the memory.
Okay.
Okay, this is a fresh data. Everything is forget. If the
Yes.
running, then it's okay.
Okay.
If the database is shut down and if you restart, that memory area is empty. There is no data. You have to load the data from the database. Okay,
Okay.
got it. Like we as a human being, see, we are also sleeping, but we are not dead, right? We
Yes,
are
sir.
having the all information. We are not dead. We are live. But
Yes, sir.
sometimes then some trauma happens. Everything we forget. You have seen in the movie, right?
Yes, sir.
Everything sometimes they forget, right?
Yes, sir.
Accident, something happened, right? All data is gone, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's like a new data will be there in that person, right? Old will be.
Yes, sir.
So here once you shut down, everything is lost from the memory. Again, we have to load the data one by one in the memory as per the requirement. Not all data. Whatever you need, you
Okay.
load
Okay.
it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in real time, we are not going to shut down the database. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Daily, we are not shutting down the database. If you shut down the database, user cannot get the data, right?
Okay.
See, most of the applications are 24 by 7, like in bank statement. Anytime you can get your bank statement, right?
Yes, sir.
Midnight or afternoon, morning, every time. Daily you can get it. 24 by 7. So
Yes, sir.
bank database is running. This is not down, right? It's up and running, right?
Yes, sir.
But sometimes there might be some maintenance. So they will send you the mail, right? Don't log in means the database is unavailable, right? From 1 hour. You might get some sometimes mail, right?
Yes, sir.
So they will do in the midnight
Yes,
sometimes.
sir.
But not daily, after 6 months or sometimes after 3 months or 6 months, like that. Okay, not daily.
Only we are recovering the data limited, that particular that we want.
Not recovering, loading. Loading.
Loading only particular that
Yeah, which is not there in the
we
memory,
want.
that data is being loaded.
Yes, sir.
Recovery is a different scenario. Backup recovery is different. Okay. So you can say loading instead of recovery. Forget the word recovery. You can say
Okay, sir.
loading. Okay. Data is loading in the memory. So this is how we get the data from Campus Oracle. Is everyone clear? Still any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
But in the memory, till how long the data will be there? I told you, right? It depends on
Yes,
the
sir.
memory size. Everything
Yes,
can
sir.
be loaded in the memory. It depends on the memory size, right?
Yes, sir.
It depends
Yes,
on the
sir.
memory size. So the data which is loaded first, that will get removed first, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So memory contains only recently used data. Old data is being removed from the memory if we are not using for the longer time.
Yes, sir.
If you are not using for the longer time, you will forget, right?
Yes, sir.
Keep repeating, you will remember, right?
Yes, sir.
But once you forget, again you will open the notepad and diary, then data will be loaded in your memory, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this part
But
I'll explain it tomorrow. I'll explain you slowly, okay? If I explain all at
Yes,
it,
sir.
for you, it it might get difficult to understand. So we have two more architecture class, okay? So I will explain you slowly for architecture, okay? Because architecture is the main. Once you understand the architecture, remaining topic
Yes.
is easy for you to understand. Architecture is the main topic, okay?
Yes, sir.
This is the base.
Sir, I get to the dictionary catch the username and password. It is stored. But
Yeah,
what about library catch and
that I told
UGA?
you, right? When it comes, I will explain that time. As of now, not
Okay,
required.
sir.
So forget all these things, you will get confused. Okay. So
Okay.
all these things not required as of now. Whenever it is required, I will be explaining you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, you cannot understand. So today I explain you about two components. That is the data dictionary cache and data buffer cache, right?
Yes, sir.
So just remember these two components. Okay. Don't don't bother about these components. You need to
Yes,
remember
sir.
just data dictionary cache and data buffer cache today.
Okay, sir.
okay.
So data dictionary cache for the authentication, username, password, table permission is stored, right?
Yes, sir.
Data buffer cache, recently used data is there, not old data. Recently used data,
Yes,
Yes, sir.
frequently used data, you can say, right? The data which is being used more frequently, right?
yes, sir.
So you can go through the video also and you make a note also. Just type it in a word. If you want, I'll provide you, but it's better if you make the notes. You can remember. Okay. So we will see it tomorrow. Okay. So we
Okay,
have
sir.
the 30 to 45 minute session for next 2 days. After that, we have 1 hour session, and that is
Yes, sir.
5:30.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Then. We'll see you. Any doubt? Still any doubt? Anyone?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Just remember data buffer cache and data dictionary cache uses. Okay. What use of data dictionary
Okay.
cache?
Sir, my question, I have question. Sir,
Yes.
the red line border that is in the red line border,
Yes. This is
it
the
is all
instance.
in Oracle
This is Oracle instance. You can see the name, right? Name written.
intense memory background process.
Instance. This is the first point you need to know. Instance is the first point you need to know in Oracle. Okay, this is the memory area, right? Instance.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is the red line border is intense
Instance.
instance
INS, right?
instance.
Yesterday I explained DBMS, right? So DBMS, this is DBMS only.
Okay, sir.
DBMS equal to instance. Got it?
DBMS equals to instance. Okay.
This layer is the DBMS. I explained DBMS part, right? This
Yes,
is
sir.
DBMS and this is database. This is database. Wait, this is database, right?
Yes, sir.
Here name is, I told you, right? Here name is instance. DBMS name is instance in the instance, right? Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'll provide you the video
Okay.
and the recording. I have recorded.
So please provide the notes also, sir, if possible.
Yes, I will upload the notes also. I will share the link.
Okay.
Then bye.